Hi, I'm James at Bespoke Airsoft and welcome back to another video. In this video we're looking at the P38 and the P38 Compact from WE. So yes, we've got two models here, both very similar, but there's differences in terms of length and obviously what you get in the box. Just open these up here. I have the short on the left and the long on the right for you viewers there. Opening the box, manuals are very similar. See the one to the right here, we've got the P38 long, and we've got the magazine as well. Pop that box away, and then in the left box we've got the P38 Compact, and then we've got a few extra bits here, which is the suppressor and the longer inner barrel for it. Let's get this lovely clear plastic packaging off. So these are known as the WW2 and the WW2S, obviously being from World War II. These are more commonly known as the Walther P38s. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. So we have two models. We have the long and the short. The long being obviously the more commonly known version that you'll see in like video games and such forth like that. And then they do a short version, which you get a suppressor and an extended inner barrel, which just screws in like so. Bit like the Makarov that WE do. So this will of course increase your accuracy and your velocity as well. You know, they're going to be shooting a little bit warmer with that on, but it's still, you know, below what it needs to be. So let's just pop that to one side because we want to know the differences between the short and the long in their original form. So both use the same single stack magazines, which are very much like 1911 style magazine, a little bit thinner back to front there. Don't expect crazy gas capacity out of these magazines, but it's more enough to shoot the rounds off that you can store in the magazine. Obviously it's not double stack, it's single stack only. One thing I would be aware of using these magazines is when I was loading these in the chrono readings and the 10-meter accuracy test, I was loading them by hand, and one thing you've got to be very careful of is these feed lips are metal and they're not sharp, but they're sharp enough if you don't know what you're doing to perhaps catch your finger on, and you know, last thing I want you guys to cut yourselves. But you just notice when pushing them in, it is a little bit sharper than usual, the normal plastic foils. So same magazine, they're both cross compatible, they are exactly the same magazine. The frames and the lowers on these pistols are exactly the same too, and all that's different is the outer barrel and the inner barrel setup. So this is a full metal pistol, metal lower, metal slide, metal outer barrel. Locks back in very much the same way. You've got your slide catch, which is found on the left hand side of the pistol there. Not ambidextrous friendly these, they are sort of to mimic the old World War II era pistols, and then you just, as the slide locks back, say if it's empty or whether you load a new magazine, just push the slide release down there and it locks forward. Triggers on these, not too bad a reset, and not too bad a break, and not too bad a reset for, you know, an older styled pistol. So you've got the hammer on the back here that you can cock as well. When the slide actually reciprocates, you'll see the outer barrel moves too. So the main differences you're going to see from these two models, and the way that I've chronoed and shot them, I've shot them in their raw form, because what we want to see is if there's any difference for chrono readings and accuracy in terms of the short barrel over the long, if you're going to use it as it comes out the box without fitting the suppressor. Obviously fitting the suppressor, you're going to get higher velocity and perhaps tighter groupings with that setup, but you know, we're going to look at the raw form just to make it a little bit fair. The long barrel does have a thread as well, so if you did want to fit a suppressor, let me just get the suppressor from over here. It's got the usual WE style thread, so if you did want to slide a suppressor on there for the actual tactical look, you can do. but there's no thread there for screwing in the longer barrel, I don't believe, or is there? Let's have a look. because this would be weird, wouldn't it, if we can screw in an even longer barrel. And we can. So the kit, the silencer kit that WE do, fits the long version of the P38 just fine. So if you do want even more barrel length, so the barrel length is about this big, you can do it, and it will function just fine as well. So let's get this put to one side because we're not going to be needing this for the rest of the review. Take that out as well. So these guns are empty. There's no BBs in them whatsoever, but they are gassed. So let's just see what they shoot like. Nice and snappy there. We're a bit low on the gas because I've obviously shot these a while ago. This one's actually got a bit more gas in it. So to remove the magazines, you don't have a like sort of mag release on the more modern pistols of the day, but you do have this little catch on the bottom of the magazine which you pull to the rear, and then you can eject the magazine. So this is the same on both models, the long and the short. I know I'm sort of going over what I'm telling you guys, but I really just want to get across that the lowers of the pistol are exactly the same. The only thing that's different is the barrel length. So what you did request is getting back the top-down camera so you can look more closely at these things. So I'm going to get that in now, and we'll be right back on camera. So yeah, we've got the top-down camera back because you guys have requested it. You wanted a closer look at these things, and I 100% agree. This way we can just show you a little bit more in detail what they look like, which is a little bit more difficult when you're sort of looking from across the room. So this is the long model. You see that magazine release at the bottom. You've got a loop here on the grip as well for like a lanyard or such forth. Take the magazine out. You can see the brake and the reset are very prominent for an old style pistol. I was expecting much worse. And the take up before the wall is very small, short as well, so very impressed with that. It's going to make a responsive pistol. And then this is the short as well, very much same mag release, and you'll see that triggers are very much the same. Same pistol, different barrel lengths. Full metal pistol this is, metal lower receiver, metal slide, metal outer barrel and such. And to take these guns apart, we obviously lock the slide to the rear, and then we move the takedown lever to the front there, let the slide forward, and it will come off the front. This is a bit tricky to do the first time, just got to make sure everything's lined up, because you've got these two springs on both sides of the frame. What you want to do is make sure that these stay in place if you're putting the pistol straight back together, because they do like to jump out if you're not paying attention. So let me just set that to one side so it doesn't pop out. And we have the slide system here. We can take the barrel off the front there. You've got the gas blowback unit, like found in many other pistols, very much the same. Nice feeling construction, it's not too bad. And then the hop up is adjusted from the little Allen key you see there. The Allen key is provided in the box on both these pistols. So you are able to do this while the gun is together, as long as you pull the slide back. So let's just put this back into place. We're going to take the slide, holding these springs together, because if these do pop out, you just have to make sure they're recessed back into places. And then we just want to slide this back on the rail and slide this back. I think we might have to let the hammer forward, yeah. So we'll have to let the hammer forward for this little latch to go down, so we can then slide top slide over it. So you just have to be aware when taking these things apart. They're not always exactly the same. There's a few little quirks like I've just shown you. Safety and decocker, which is working on the top slide there. Decocks the hammer. I can't fire it. It is a double action, a single action trigger. And the setup can be found exactly the same in the long model. If you lock the slide to the rear, you can see the little Allen key on top of the hop unit, and this can be adjusted while the gun is intact. You don't need to strip it down for that, so it's good. So let's get to the chrono results now. What we'll do for the chrono results and the range test, I'll shoot the compact first, and then I'll shoot the normal variant afterwards. So we'll put the chrono readings up just now. First couple of shots without the barrel extension. Second round of shots with the barrel extension. P38 normal size. So you'll see there, probably exactly what you expected. The one with the longer barrel is obviously going to shoot a little bit warmer. And we'll see in the accuracy test just in a moment. Now the first thing I want to mention about this pistol is the short comes with the suppressor kit, which is found like in the Makarovs, and you can buy these separately as well. So you've got a threaded inner barrel there, which you can screw the inner barrel extension onto, and then you've got your suppressor, which then goes over that. You can of course fire these pistols without the extended inner barrel on as well, so if you do want to keep the power down but you want the suppressed look, you can obviously put that on there. Now the weird thing is that's got to be mentioned in this review, and I don't know whether it's just this unit or the batch that came in or anything, we're going to have to look into it. So you get the suppressor kit with the compact model, however you get an inner barrel which screws into the inner barrel that's in the gun. But the compact, I don't know if you'll see this, I'm going to try and get this in colour. Let me zoom in. The compact doesn't actually have a threaded section for the suppressor. And I don't know whether this is WE doing an oversight or something, but the only way you're going to screw that in is if you force the threads in and cut the threads yourself. But the weird thing is the P38 that comes without the suppressor included in the box has the threads there. So I think this might just be a one-off from WE where they've included a barrel that isn't threaded. So you can see that thread straight in because the threads are there. So yeah, I don't know whether that's a blunder of WE or this is how they all are. If you've got one of these compacts, of course, just give me a message, comment down below, just let us know. Let's see what you think. So is it a fault of WE on all the models, or is it a fault of WE just on this model? And I've been really unlucky to pick the one that isn't threaded. So yeah, I could babble on about these things all day. As you'll see over the course of the next few videos on the YouTube channel, we're going to be looking at older style pistols. We've got the Tokarev coming up, the P38 Luger, we've got the Makarov, which is very, very nice as well. But let's get to shooting these things. We'll do the range test now. We'll shoot the compact first, and then we'll shoot the normal model with a longer barrel. So just the usual disclaimer, obviously using a heavier BBs, getting the hop set, you're going to get better results than what you've seen on there. I basically do this 10 metre test in the way that I do it, just so we've got a baseline. So if you look across the series and all the pistols we have on the show, you'll see the differences of me just pulling a gun out the box, putting gas in the magazine with BBs, and just shooting the thing. No adjustments on the hop unit, using 0.2 gram BBs, so we're not even going to like the heavyweight BBs 253s that you would probably use if you're using this as a sidearm. But it just gives you an idea of how they compare to each other in their raw form. Taking it out of the box, no trickery involved, and let's just shoot the thing. So you'll see, of course, that you know the compact is what it is. It's probably not the most accurate pistol out the box, but you do have the longer inner barrel and suppressor kit on there if you want to. If you're using heavy ammo with this thing, you could use like heavier gases as well to help with the heavy ammo. You're going to get better results. Setting the hop, you're probably going to get better results as well. I've seen a few of the usual YouTubers having a play around with these things. I think the most recently I've seen, I think was it Kicking Mustang that was using one of these in one of his videos, and he seems to be doing okay with it. Seems to be quite efficient for the short thin style magazine that comes with them. So this has been a quick overview look at the P38 compact and normal model, and we both got that there on empty, as you'll see. I hope you've enjoyed it. We've got more older style pistols coming up, none of the modern stuff in these next few videos, sorry guys. So if you are looking for the modern stuff, just stay tuned. We've got loads more WE stuff to cover on the YouTube channel. But why not stick around and look at some of the old stuff, because I don't do World War II airsoft, I don't do older era airsoft games. However, shooting some of these pistols, you know, they're an absolute blast to shoot, and I probably would use them in like a modern day kit, maybe if I'm doing Russian or something like that. So thanks for tuning in. Hope you've enjoyed the P38s, the compact and the usual, I don't want to call it the long because it's just the regular model. All the WE products we've got on the show are up on the website, so just click through on the link at the bottom of the video, go onto the website, there's loads of stuff, loads of new products on there, loads of special offers at the moment on the special offers tab. But for this and many of the standard bespoke airsoft products, go to bespokeairsoft.co.uk, link in the description below, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you very much for tuning in, bye bye.